Yo, what up, YouTube? It's your boy, Another Zod. Anyways, before I get into it, shouts out to the UK, shouts out to Idaho, and shouts out to Iowa, like I said. Oh, and shouts out to the homies from HOB in South Central. Ya sabes, I'm back at you. But you know what? I've been sitting back playing a lot of Call of Duty, a little Destiny, and a few other games, ya sabes. But I just wanted to get into a few things because I have got a lot of comments about this last video that I uploaded. You know, I got like, you know, a bunch of little chionas talking about he got millions and you have nothing and all this other, like, you know, basura that, you know, dick riders usually do. But with that being said, you know what I mean? It's like at the end of the day, it's not clickbait. It's basically, my channel is not necessarily gossip. It's just basically about me, Spencer, and my life. But it doesn't always revolve around prison. I could tell you a million different prison stories, but I mean, what will it really matter? The shit that I did, there's people that did 20 times more than that. I'm just basically a regular camarada just living his life. Now you got these little weirdos that be on here talking about pulling up, but you never do. And then you got these other cats that like, oh, well, your face is on here, cool. But I mean, my face is on here because I'm not worried about you. And three, it's just whatever. This is a YouTube channel. If you're triggered by a 40-year-old man, that's just your problem. I mean, I'm always on the street. I just ran into somebody like, 3 days ago in Walmart. You know, it's somebody that watched the channel and he was a fan of the channel. Feed him it. I told her to keep walking, stop, shook his hand. You know what I mean? And that's just how it is. I'm out here. I ain't hiding from nobody, you know what I mean? And yeah, so just know your place, know your zone, whatever. But that's not really what I want to get into outside of the little 6ix9ine thing. It's like, look, at the end of the day, I'm going to say what I want to say about the Vato. I'm not really tripping on him for one thing, just to be 100% honest. He's from East Coast, so that's their problem. You know, they will deal with him the way they want to deal with him. Whether he stays solid or whether he snitches really makes no difference to me. The Vato got a sex charge, and that's all I'm going to remember. It don't matter how good his song was. It doesn't matter anything like that. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, like, I put this on the channel before. In order to care about you, I'd actually have to give a fuck about you, but I don't know the Vato, so I could care less, you know. And you got other cats on here, you know, they be like, oh, but you know, you're not Mexicano. Cool, I mean, that's, you got to go back on some other videos to get what I said on that. But at the end of the day, that really doesn't matter because I still represent it. And I can understand some of you out being frustrated that I was walking the main line and all the hardcore gangsters that said they would do something never did nothing. And I would be frustrated too, you know what I mean? But or just bust a grape. And like I said, it's not on nothing to be negative. The whole thing was just about, you know, if you're on the internet and you're wolfing, you're net banging, you're doing all this weirdo stuff. That's why I like that fool Dark Low, because he says it. We don't beef on the internet. What he say? That shit for hoes, that shit for weirdos. We ain't into that. So when you be woofing on here and basically telling these police what you'll do when you're not doing nothing, you're just basically on here with no face profiles, and you know, I can't even take you serious, you know what I mean? And for the most part, when I created my channel about the homies, period, and trying to tell them to avoid certain situations once I got that voice out there. But like I said, let me not stray from the sole intent of this video. It's just basically because somebody else said something about the feds. I'm just going to tell you like this. The feds are always on everything. I don't give a fuck what you do in life. If you put a video, like it's like this. If you go into the library right now and pick up a book on how to make bombs, they're on you. If you pick up a book on satanic worship or anything to do with magic, you're red flag off the back. You say anything on the phone that got anything to do with anything about, you know, whether it's bomb, whether it's magic, whether it's sacrifice, any of that, you're red flag off the back, you know what I mean? And it's just the way it is. So, and you know, to answer this question about, you know, they only do RICO acts for mobsters and gangsters on the East Coast, nah, that ain't true. Because if that was the case, a gang of lots from Longo wouldn't be in feds right now for the racketeering. The homies from Violent wouldn't have been in there for racketeering. I was busted with a lot of fools that got busted for racketeering all like in the mid-90s all the way. They just building up a case. See, one thing in California that I'm going to tell you, anytime you're on the phone, the feds is listening. I mean, people say, oh, now they got to get this. No, they busted all these fools because they were listening. They had shit from one edge of Long Beach all the way back up, like way up there. So, you know, the feds are on everything. I said that in a prior video that no matter where you go, like when you think you're doing these little tranzas and these little transactions and thinking it's all good, ain't nobody paying attention to you. Yeah, they don't pay attention to you until you start murdering motherfuckers. And when you start murdering people, that's when you become come on their radar. Now, as far as me, like I said, clickbaiting, there's no such thing as clickbait. If well, let me just take it back. If I say something about 6ix9ine in the title, and then I talk about 6ix9ine, that's not clickbait. But me and the camarada are the guy that commented on it. We got it straight. We're over it. He subscribed to the channel. Cool. You know what I mean? If I came at you like, and no disrespect, I just wanted to see where you're at, because it kind of seemed like you were taking shots at me. And I got a lot of trolls right now. And I love responding to trolls, because why? At the end of the day, you're just giving me views. So like all the new fools that be on here, like, the little kids that, they're talking about, oh, well, 6ix9ine this. Well, one vato in particular, dude, you're a vato with a face filter of a cheetah. Like, you had a girl's filter on your face. So I can understand why you did that. You know what I mean? And there ain't no shot at gay people. You can screw who you want, fuck with who you want. At the end of the day, just be you. But when you come on a channel that's predominantly about gangsters and life in prison and life outside of prison and a person getting their life straight, expect for somebody to say something back to you. Like, for one thing, I mean, it's like when I can't complain about what people say on social media. I can only respond to it, because at the end of the day, when you put yourself on social media, you open yourself up to this. So I'm understanding that I'm gonna get heat from bosses that didn't like me because they just couldn't do shit about it, and I'm gonna get heat from bosses that were basically enemigos from the past. But I mean, I'm not gonna even get into that, because I mean, that don't mean nothing. I'm still alive, and I'm still doing my thing. But at the end of the day, it's nothing about negativity, because since my channel has started, you got multiple homies sending me their music. You got multiple homies that's connecting with other artists. You got homies really out there doing something positive for the streets, besides just being some random fool on here talking mess. And for a lot of it, like a lot of you watchers that be basically talking all that mierda and shit, that you're not even gangsters, you're not gangbang, you're not nothing. You're just a regular cat that's frustrated because maybe you got beat up by a few gangsters in high school. You aggressive, maybe you're a cop. Like, because I figured there's a few cops on this page watching, but I'm not mad at you, because at the end of the day, I'm not doing nothing no more. Like I said, I'll be on Call of Duty and all this, you know what I'm saying? And for the lots of that's like, you 17, you 18, 19, 20, 21, and you talking all this, rah-rah. You're the type that go beat up on old man on the street. Like, at the end of the day, dude, if I make you frustrated and you feel that disrespected, like I said, I'm always on the street. And this ain't no call to have you try to run up on me and get your little shit with your camera. Like, that's funny, because I know a couple of cats that probably want to do that, but it didn't turn out good for them. But, like I'm saying, basically the whole video was just to respond to a few trolls. And just basically to tell the homies that the feds are always watching. They're watching everything. They watch everything we fucking do. And when you put your neighborhood out here on here, like on from this barrio, they start connecting certain things. Come on, if you've been to prison, you know exactly what the gooners do. They try to piece every little thing. I don't give a fuck. You got a connection to over here and over here, just putting shit together in order to get you. So it's the same on the streets. It's just the feds are a lot more relentless, and when they're on you, they're on you. So once they start the case on you, you're pretty much done. And that's another thing. Like, I've had homies that like, oh, well, when I tell them, like, you know what, man, don't even say nothing about anything around me, because I ain't trying to hear it. You never know who's listening, and they would be like, oh, well, this and that. Like, look, at the end of the day, they don't need a body or a gun to convict you of murder. Tekashi 6ix9ine right now, this dude probably did not one murder, but he finna get hung for like every little crime that he was right there, maybe watch. You got conspiracy. You know what I'm saying? Just you knowing something about it and you don't say nothing, you know what I mean? They can get you for that. And if he stays solid, that's Fbg, that's him. But at the end of the day, for the lots that be, with that rah-rah, mostly it's the lots that don't even bang, or, you're just trolls, you're mad because I'm me and you just couldn't do nothing about it and still can't do nothing about it. It's understandable. You're frustrated, or you just want your voice to be heard. Like, you're one of those prima donnas on the internet that feel like you gotta really make your voice valid. At the end of the day, vale pito, you know what I mean? It ain't worth shit, you know what I mean? Because I mean, I'm never gonna change exactly what I think. The only thing I can do at 40 is to push forward and try to keep people from making the same mistakes. Because if you still want to be about that, and you may not be about that, just understand that the consequences of what you do I mean, that your actions have consequences, and the feds are on everything. It's like, look, dude, on another video that I was watching, like, I think it was like yesterday or today, all these cats have been getting busted. Oh, and that's one thing that I did want to tell you. Like I said, my videos are all over the place because they ain't scripted. When they do the RICO Act, it don't matter. You know what I mean? It's like, once they got you, they got you. They gonna push for all these fools to snitch on each other. And for the most part, a few of them are probably gonna stay solid, but they looking for who they need to break. You know what I mean? And a lot of times they know everything. They just want this one person to break. Y'all don't get into that Illuminati stuff and all this conspiracy theory, but I mean, when you think of it, there's a lot of weird shit going on. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I can't really speak on that. All I can say, like, for the fools that be like mobsters and all that, look, at no mobster ever wanted his son to be a mobster. They wanted them to be lawyers and doctors and, you know, politicians, really, something that can help them out in the future, not to get into the family business. They didn't want that. See, so when the fools be like, oh, that's not gangster, that's not mobster, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. You're just somebody that been watching documentaries and just figured, hey, you know, this is the way it go. But I'm just gonna say, gangbanging is a lot different, and when you've did it for a long time, you understand at some point you gotta exit. You know what I mean? And it's best to exit the right way, because the only other exit is like this. You either get jumped out, you get smoked, or you get your life together. And that's the only thing. So, you know, with that being said, I'm your boy Zod. I'm on my way to Pacoima for that one cat I told you. I mean, nothing negative, but yeah, I'm on my way to Pacoima. Then I'm at, you know, Hollywood, and then, you know what I'm saying, on the South Central. But, yeah. For the homies, you know what I'm saying, like this, I'm always going to say it, dog, you know what I mean, because I got love for the camaradas. Stay out, homie, it ain't worth it, you know what I mean, and if you can't avoid it, then just, you know, make sure you got all your shit set up to where, you know, you can actually, you know, you're getting your paquetes, you're getting something, dog, because I know how it is to sit in that cage and, you know, when people fall off when you ain't got nothing coming. If some of you out there that be running your mouth really want to do something, start putting money on Vatos books and shit, you know, for your homies that are solid. Start putting money on their books if you really, you know, want to be about that, you know what I mean? As far as going to jail and kicking it with motherfuckers, they, you know, they gonna tell you, hey, why in the fuck you come in here? You know what I mean? But that's pretty much it, you know what I'm saying? This video, like I said, was basically to address the little 6ix9ine issue about the clout chasing and so-called, oh, he got millions. So what? You know what I mean? But is he giving you the millions? And with that being said, I'm your boy Zod. Like I said, I'm out. And you enjoy your rest of your night, camaradas. Buenas noches.